I got Saqib from Enablers here. Saqib is a leader in Pakistan, and we have been seeing ourselves and honestly worldwide, there's been such a big movement in Pakistan recently in the Amazon space, in e-commerce. And honestly, I really see in the next couple years, Pakistan emerging as a leader in the Amazon space. What are some of the biggest factors that you would say distinguish Pakistanis from everyone else in the world? Like what are your people, what separates them from others internationally?
The people in Pakistan no doubt has a huge talent here actually. Without proper systems and without proper guidelines, they still manage too much. And why we came here to give them a full-fledged ecosystem.
What's up, everyone? I got Saqib from Enablers here. Saqib is a leader in Pakistan, and we have been seeing ourselves and honestly worldwide, there's been such a big movement in Pakistan recently in the Amazon space, in e-commerce. And honestly, I really see in the next couple years, Pakistan emerging as a leader in the Amazon space. There's a lot going on there, and there are a lot of people who are dedicated to the Amazon space. I am always so surprised to see the dedication that comes from Pakistan, and I think that we will continue to see Pakistan emerge, like I said, as a world leader. So Saqib, thank you so much for being on here really quick. I know that well, it's late there. We were talking about that right now. We're at about a 10-hour time difference, but if you could just introduce yourself a little bit briefly, talk about yourself, talk about the group, just so we understand who you are.
Yeah, so basically, thank you very much for inviting me in there. So basically, my name is obviously Saqib, and I'm the man behind Enablers. So being as a successful Amazon sellers from last 10 plus years, I decided to build up community in Pakistan. But actually, we can see that the people who wants to do something for their country or wants to do themselves for their own individuals or their families, and we saw that the e-commerce is something going to be the massive in the next few years. So we decided to start a community in Pakistan with the name of eCommerce by Enablers, which is actually the world's largest e-commerce community right now, where you where the people are actually helping each other to enable. So the purpose of this community is to help Amazon sellers to learn e-commerce and make the passive income, basically, because the people here do have a culture of making just one way of earning. But what we did is to changing the mindset of making multiple income streams, and we saw Amazon is really the right way to go for, where the people can either be a seller or people can either be offering their services based on their skill set. So this is the mindset which we came up with a few years ago, and now is like crazy things going on here, which you might have seen already. But the people here has a huge potential in Pakistan, and what we wanted was to have recognized as Pakistan as e-commerce hub. Because we usually see the people usually finds people from Philippines and other things, but what we do is we don't just train people here actually to learn the whole ecosystem, like learn not just the Amazon, but what we do is to make sure they have the quality in it. So we do types of certificates. We make sure the people who offer their services to the world have actually ethical behavior, professionalism, good English language communication skills, or anything which can help to manage an account of Amazon, either it's a private label, either it's a wholesale or anything. So this was really the purpose behind it, and it has gone massively more of a revolution in Pakistan, but every other person is now willing to learn this and never-ending thing, which we have seen after COVID, the way the things are going towards.
Right.
This is really more of a high level.
It sounds like I hear the words or drive to learn. That's honestly what I heard from you. That is a kind of a distinguishing factor for the people in Pakistan, and as a people who are dedicated to knowledge. I guess so. At a really high level, a lot of people are starting to turn their eyes internationally in the US market. A lot of sellers, a lot of bigger sellers are starting to look into other countries. I just had a conversation with someone from Japan. I just had a conversation with someone from South Korea. I'm curious, what are some of the biggest factors that you would say distinguish Pakistanis from everyone else in the world? Like, what are your people? What separates them from others internationally?
I think the people in Pakistan, no doubt, has a huge talent here. Actually, without proper systems and without proper guidelines, they still manage to do too much. And why we came here to give them a full-fledged ecosystem, where the people who and actually offer quality-related services to the world, rather they just focus on quantity or winning the businesses, which mostly the people all across the world usually does that. So why we came in is to ensure they have the right ethics behavior working with the seller, because at the end of the day, you're managing someone's $millions account, or you're managing someone's money here. So it's very important that you must have a quality in it. So we don't just train people. What we do is we give them proper mentorship and more of a lifetime support, where the people take training, and then as soon as they get stuck anywhere, then they have the mentorship available for the people who are actually successful sellers. So they have the whole back-end support behind it. This is something never happened anywhere in the world, where actually the person who is offering their services, if he gets stuck, if he doesn't know PPC, if he doesn't know XYZ, then he would have the back-end support who actually have like a huge amount of knowledge behind it. So this is something we usually do as providing as part of the mentorship, instead of just videos, instead of just a Zoom session. It's not like that at all. So this is the massive difference in Pakistan, where we do face-to-face as well. Because usually you see in the world, the people provides you or buy my training or actually take the XYZ videos and learn from it. And then if you have any question, ask in the community or something. What we do is we have the whole network physically available.
So I'm curious, what percentage of enablers are managing are selling themselves and are versus virtual? Is enablers purely a virtual assistant group, or is it are people in Pakistan starting to, do they sell on their own, or do they primarily focus on solely managing, helping other people, enabling other people to really skyrocket?
It's not a virtual assistant group only. What we have is the people who are actually selling on Amazon, building their own brand as a private label. The people in this group, you will find the people who are doing wholesale, means actually selling the products which are already being established on other brands. People who are doing drop shipping on Amazon, people who are just investors and does not have time to do anything. So what they do is, I have the money, I have the account, then I want to do a partnership with the person who actually wants to work, because who would have a skill set. So we're connecting people as well with each other. So one person, and the fourth category or fifth category we have is the people who does not have any money, but they have skills and they want to work for someone. So we're connecting all these people together. The virtual assistants, private label, wholesale, drop shipping, and many other income streams which potentially can be used to connect with each other. So this is the group which is all about, where the people help each other. If you would even ask a question in this group, you will get an answer in 60 seconds. We have a task force who actually sitting behind the scene. If any of the virtual assistant or any of the seller from the entire world would have an issue on Amazon, they will be asking questions in this group, and then they get an answer and the solution within 60 seconds. This is the culture which we have built in. So like nowhere really asking where you're from or where you belong to. What we say is ask your question, get an answer in 60 seconds.
I think that I talked about this at the beginning, but the international perspective is extremely valuable, especially for US sellers. I think where perhaps at this point in time, a lot of people have been in the same group or groups for a long period of time. An international perspective helps break out of that mold, and it helps broaden our scope on what we can do in the world of Amazon, because Amazon is expanding past just the US. It's more than that now. The game is growing, and you have to have your mind set on international expansion. You have to have your mindset on learning from other perspectives. And that's what I love about this group, is that it gives a lot of people, especially in the US, accessible information and perspective that is international. And I want to touch, before we talk about what's to come in the future for enablers, I kind of want to pick your brain specifically on what you see in Amazon and e-commerce. You have a lot of people, you have a big group, you have a lot of perspective. 2021, just during 2021, I had a lot of conversations with people in December, just around their thoughts on what's to come in 2021. And now that we're here, I'm curious, specifically, what do you think, from what you've seen in the group, what do you think is going to be coming in 2021? What big changes are we going to see?
I think the biggest changes which we are going to see is to the people moving or shifting towards the people who does not have enough money from US market, because US market has gone really competitive, where the people needs to spend so much money in to compete with the big guys or compete with the other sellers. So the other markets which are emerging, like in Europe, Germany, UK, and obviously the new markets like Australia, Gulf, UAE, Japan is really good market. And Germany obviously is the second biggest market. So I see a shift from US to these marketplaces where the people are, rather they just spend the whole or big lot of money in the biggest marketplace. Obviously, no doubt it has a 66% share as compared to other markets, but it has a huge competition as well. So the small sellers or the people who does not have a huge investment, I rather say, should be at least more than $20,000 to run a single good product to rank it in order to generate profit or make a break even in the US market. So mostly people does not have this. As a new seller, they've been reluctant to use this much money as a first product. So hence we see that this change is going to be shifting in 2021, that the people may not be going enough in US market until and unless they have a big money sitting out there. And obviously we're seeing in terms of sale perspective, we're seeing it is going to be crazy markets in terms of sale. Because what we are seeing is the trends are changing, because we saw the people were shifting more towards into home categories, more sports one, more into health and beauty, fitness as well. Because previously, before COVID, we didn't see as it's supposed to be, but after that, it has gone massively. Because everyone wants to work from home, everyone wants to take care of their health, everyone wants to encourage doing gyms at home. So these type of shift we see in terms of products. Hence obviously we change and adopt our strategies based on that. We never say like watch our videos and then this is it. So we what we do in our group, or what we do is to change and adopt strategies, because we're dealing with the 1 trillion worth of marketplace. So we can't be just saying this is it. We change and adopt strategies based on what we feel is where the less chances of failure. Obviously, we do not give guarantee that you will be successful anyway. Also, we have our own criteria which we usually use your which we usually use your tools like Viral Launch and other tools as well to find a winning product, which is like high demand and low competition. We have our full criteria based on individual marketplaces. We have defined if you want to sell in Germany, then this criteria you need to go for by using Viral Launch and other tools. Same for other UAE, US, UK, Japanese, and
so your group is pretty experienced, you'd say, in understanding international marketplaces and understanding the differences between the minute specific differences in product research, in selling, in cultural significance in each of these areas. Yeah.
Exactly, because it's not just now a Pakistani group anymore, because we see people from US, people from Europe, people from India, people from Bangladesh. It's now going to be a multicultural group. Because previously it was purely based in Pakistani, but since the growth happened, when the 10 to 15,000 people joining per week, more than 700, 800 questions being asked per day, and are getting an answer in 60 seconds. So everyone wants to sort of take a free help, and I haven't seen anywhere where these type of things are happening. Obviously, the people have made their masterminds when they get success, and then some people get connected and all this. But this is for the newbies, for the people who wants to start something, or for the people who are already selling it. So it's all experienced newbies, and all those people are together in this.
Great. I'm honestly looking forward to connecting the audience to enablers, because I think that, like we've been talking about, international is it. International is, I think this decade will see so much change internationally. So I'll link your information, I'll link enablers in the description of this video, everywhere it's posted. For people who are just listening, how can people connect with enablers?
They can join the biggest Facebook group called eCommerce by Enablers, enablers.org/group. This is where they can go and join that, and then can learn from it. And I'm sure the people would be love to hear from you, because everyone kind of using a viral launch in Pakistan, and the people who are offering their services or selling as a seller or finding a new products. So we will encourage you to be the part of it, and then participate. You will receive a huge welcome, I'm sure, once you get involved into it.
Yeah, it'd be great to jump into the group and hear from your audience. I would love to connect and hear some questions from everyone in Pakistan, and to share our knowledge as well, our expertise, our insight, what we see happening internationally, in the US, everywhere. So Saqib, thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking about your group. I look forward to connecting our audience with yours, and I look forward to connecting in the future and answering some questions about Amazon.
Brilliant. It was nice speaking to you as well. Hopefully speak to you soon.
Appreciate it.
Take care.